And of course we had coffee. You'd buy coffee in pound packages. And I remember quite well Arbuckle Brothers. And they had on the side of the package Arbuckle Brothers written out. And they'd save those signatures and send them someplace, New York or wherever, and get prizes for this. And we'd save the signatures. And I know you get a watch for, I think, probably 80 or 90 signatures. And it would run, keep time, but you'd hear it when you wanted to watch. But they'd have things like that, and you get the catalog, you see. And so we'd save everybody, you see, save signatures. And if somebody wasn't, why, they'd give them to somebody else, you see. And send them in, get the prize. And, but it was pound packages, Arbuckle Brothers. Then I lived in the time back there where we got green coffee. That was the coffee bean, of course, like you got a whole grain coffee now, only it's green. It hadn't been parched. So Mother'd put that in a skillet on the stove and keep on stirring it till she had it parched, see. And then we had a coffee mill. We'd put down here a little square box down here and a gizmo up here, put in a hopper full of coffee, and the crank went that way. And we grind the coffee through it and come down in a little box. And that's where we got our coffee. But the green coffee, it had to be parched, you see, before you could use it. And she'd parch it just like you would corn or something like that, brown, and then we'd grind it through like other coffees. But I've seen green coffee, they used to sell it there at Rosedale. And then they got, of course, at first it was green, and then they got it all brown coffee in bags. And then they had a little box they called Essence of Coffee. And I don't know what that stuff was. It was in a little box round, heavy paper pasteboard, and it was, you could cut it like with a knife, and it was black, just black of course it could be. And I think you get maybe 2 for a nickel or something. It wasn't expensive at all, but people would get that for their coffee, and they called it coffee essence. Well, they'd make her coffee first, of course, only by boiling it, and then they'd take some of this essence after it got ready and put it in the coffee, you see, and they called it coffee essence. But it was in a little box so long and so big around, and but I don't know. I suppose it was what the name was, essence of coffee, like a concentrate, you see, and it's kind of waxy when you cut it, you see. And we'd buy that. I think it's 2 for a nickel, maybe. It wasn't very expensive at all. But that's the way they made their coffee. Well, of course, one way when they drink coffee, maybe, I don't know whether it's older boys or not, but Dad and Mother would drink coffee, perhaps. And we'd drink milk. A lot of times we'd have buttermilk. We'd drink. And now it sounds like we'd be living pretty high, I reckon, when we had that much tea.
So you'd have to get up and do some chores or something then before you had your breakfast, huh?
Well, not a lot of chores we didn't have. We'd usually, in apple time, we'd go after breakfast, sometimes before, I'm sure of that, pick up apples. The apples had dropped in the fall, you see.